Welcome to the Explainer. If you follow energy trends, you know the landscape is shifting at lightning speed. Today, we're diving into what's honestly one of the most massive leaps forward in clean energy tech for our generation. We're talking about the global race for small modular reactors and exactly where the world is heading by 2026. So here's the billion-dollar question. How on earth do we power the massive, truly unprecedented electricity demands of future AI data centers without completely breaking our power grid? I mean, it's literally the critical real-world problem of our time. Accelerating electricity demand from artificial intelligence and massive data infrastructure is pushing our current utilities to their absolute limits. We need a robust solution, and honestly, we need it fast.
Okay, let's dive into this. We're going to break this down into 4 clear steps today. First, powering the future. Second, unpacking SMR technology. Third, we'll check out the global SMR leaderboard. And finally, we'll go inside U.S. SMR development.
Kicking things off with Section 1, Powering the Future, the Energy Demand Crisis. The surge in global electricity demand is forcing a massive rethink across the board. Right now, utilities, policymakers, and energy markets are desperately searching for power sources that check 3 absolutely crucial boxes: grid reliability, energy security, and clean, firm power. The big challenge here isn't just generating energy that's always on and zero carbon. It's actually doing all that without triggering the crazy expensive new grid connections you'd normally need to move that power to the end users. That specific transmission bottleneck, that's exactly what's driving the revolutionary technology we're exploring today.
Which perfectly brings us to Section 2, Unpacking SMR Technology. What is an SMR?
So, let's define this. SMR stands for Small Modular Reactor. It's a critical clean energy technology designed to be way cheaper and vastly more flexible than those massive traditional nuclear power plants you're probably picturing. It's a total paradigm shift. And look, this isn't some distant pie-in-the-sky science experiment. This is highly practical, deployable tech that's being mapped out, licensed, and built as we speak.
Let's actually break down that acronym into its 3 core pillars: small, modular, and reactor. First up, they're extremely compact. Second, they're modular, which means they're designed for mass factory manufacturing. Now, this is a real game changer. Building these units in a central factory drastically reduces both the financial cost and the total build time compared to, custom building a giant plant on site from scratch. And third, they're advanced reactors. They use cutting-edge nuclear tech to generate immense heat and electricity, all entirely safely.
To put that small footprint into perspective, a small modular reactor produces up to 300 megawatts electric. Now, compare that to a traditional sprawling reactor output, which typically sits somewhere around 1,000 to 1,400 megawatts. SMRs are a fraction of the size, but actually, scratch that, that compact nature isn't a limitation at all. It's exactly what gives them their unique superpower in the modern energy market: absolute flexibility.
Now, underneath the hood, there isn't just one single way to build an SMR. Developers are taking a few different innovative paths here. You've got right water, fast neutrons, high temperatures moderated by graphite, and even molten salt. This diversity in design isn't just for show. It represents a highly active field of engineering using entirely different coolants and physics to tackle the energy crisis safely and efficiently. Basically, they're tailoring the actual reactor technology to fit specific geographic and industrial needs.
So here's the crucial takeaway. Their compact modular design enables vastly easier transport and deployment. This is an incredible aha moment for the industry. Because of this footprint, they're the perfect fit for isolated AI data centers or remote industrial locations. When a traditional grid connection is just too expensive or physically impossible, you can effectively bypass the grid entirely and bring the power plant directly to the data center. It perfectly answers that massive energy bottleneck we talked about at the very beginning of the Explainer.
Let's move right into Section 3, the global SMR leaderboard. Who is winning the race?
28. As of 2026, the United States leads the entire world with 28 SMR siting announcements. That is a massive, tangible commitment to cementing leadership in this next-generation technology.
And when we zoom out to the broader global picture, that U.S. dominance becomes even more striking. With the U.S. at 28, Canada at 9, and the United Kingdom at 7, while the United States currently has more SMR projects in development than the next 4 countries combined. It's not even close.
Looking at the top 10 countries tracked by the Nuclear Energy Agency, you really see a global footprint here.
Following North America and the UK, we've got Russia, China, Finland, France, and Poland in the mix, with Indonesia and Sweden rounding out the top 10. So it's a worldwide race spanning multiple continents, with all these nations actively preparing sites for this crucial next-generation power.
But wait, here's a really surprising fact hidden just beneath that public data. The Nuclear Energy Agency is actually tracking 129 SMR designs globally, yet only 78 are publicly reported on their dashboard. The rest, they're either dormant or they've specifically requested to stay completely off the radar. This implies the true global push for SMRs is likely much larger and probably way more fiercely competitive behind closed doors than the public leaderboards even suggest.
All right, let's transition to our final segment today. Section 4, Inside U.S. SMR Development, Driving the Numbers. Diving into those 28 U.S. siting announcements reveals a really fascinating distribution. The push is led by national laboratories with 7 announcements, but right behind them we have a perfect three-way tie. Utilities, universities, and private SMR developers have 5 each. I love this because it brilliantly illustrates that SMR deployment in the U.S. isn't just some top-down government mandate or a solo corporate venture. It's a highly collaborative ecosystem. We're talking academia, national research, public utilities, and agile private enterprise all working closely together.
Which brings us to our final thought. As electricity demands continue to accelerate, what will the deployment of small modular reactors mean for your local grid's energy security? Tracking these emerging projects, it isn't just for policymakers. It's about fundamentally understanding the future of the power running to our homes, our businesses, and those massive data centers powering our entire digital lives. The race for SMRs is absolutely on, and it is going to thoroughly reshape our energy landscape. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll see you next time.